Hello, everybody. SyrupDishes here. You ever got that one buddy who's always got much more cooler shit than you got? And so my buddy, Mr. B, he had this great PVC target for shooting. I said, hey, where'd you get that? He said, I made it out of one stick of PVC. So I ran out and got these supplies right here. And I said, hey, I'm going to need some other supplies because that target also gets put into the ground by pounding some rebar in and then setting the PVC on top of the rebar. Rebar goes through the PVC. So once I gathered all those supplies and materials, I said, I wonder if I can make this like Mr. B. I'm going to take that one stick of PVC 10 foot and I'm going to make 6 pieces that are each 20 inches in length. Why? I don't know, just because it sounded like a great idea to me. Now I used a hacksaw to cut it. You can get a PVC pipe cutter. It works a lot better, a lot less sanding. But there's my 6 pieces. You got to sand the edges, kind of chamfer them a little bit, get the inside, get all those little burrs off of there. And then once you've sanded them, you also got to wipe them down with the rag. You need those edges really good and clean for this. Now you're not running any liquid through there, but you do want a tight seal. So also sand and clean out all of your joints that you need to make this video as well. Get yourself some OD PVC primer cleaner and some glue. The primer goes on purple. Some states, when you're using this for like water fittings and things like that, they have to see the purple primer on there. I don't know. You can get an all-in-one. I just happen to have this stuff. And so we're going to apply a liberal amount of each one, and we're going to put these on there. Now this is the very top edge and first 90-degree elbow. So the horizontal top bar, 90-degree elbow. These two don't really matter how they go together. This will be one of the down posts right there. Now it's going to get a little bit more tricky because you got to get this 90-degree exactly parallel to the other one. So once you've got it set in there before it dries, dry fit your other down leg in there and then get a nice level surface and set them on there and force it down so that it runs parallel to the opposite side. Once you've done that, go ahead and glue it up and then double check that it fits and it's still parallel. Now it's on for the T section. So this is the middle horizontal rung. And what I did is I dry fit this onto the side. So I put one T on that horizontal bar and then I dry fit it to the top piece. Then I put the other T on the horizontal bar and dry fit it. And now I've got both of those T's lined up parallel to that top bar. So we're going to glue in one side of these T's right here. I had a little bit of trouble with that. So now I'm going to do them both at the same time and use a little bit of pressure to kind of hold them down. That glue won't dry very quick. If you can do both at the same time, it's easier to push those on and get them to fit. The bottom legs are super easy because by now everything is parallel. So you just glue it up, you stick those in there. I had a little extra glue and a little extra primer in there I had to sand out. Chamfer those bottom legs with some sandpaper and then put your end caps on there. Then this galvanized pipe is what's going to be used to pound the rebar into the ground to hold this sign up. I use Teflon tape for this end cap just because I did. I don't know why. Tighten that down. Got my 2-inch piece of PVC, and this is what's going to hold the caps when it's on the target, and it's going to hold your PVC pipe so you don't have that rolling around. So get a 2-inch cap on the end of that, seal that in really good. And now we're done with our glue and primer, so let's seal that up really good so we can use it later for another project. We don't need it right now. I'm going to dry measure these. I had about a 25-inch piece of this 2-inch pipe. It's just what I had. So I needed to cut that down, made a nice angled cut. Don't do that. Sand it off, get it nice and square, but then really chamfer off that so your cap slides on and off. I get my pipe, my 2 leg caps in there, and that can seal up right in this. So let's get that attached to the target. Mr. B's didn't have this, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zip tie it down on there, and it should hold for the most part. Your rebar pre-cut 3.5 feet goes right in the bottom. Put your end caps on. Now white stands out as a target, so I don't know, I just felt like some color on this would be cool, but you don't want to do like a green camo, right? Because it's going to hide in where you're shooting and you want something to stand out. So I'm going to grab some reds. I have kind of a rusty brown and then like a fire engine red, and what I'm going to do is give it a gray base coat because I'm going to flip this thing over on the tarp while it's still wet. And what that's that's going to do is that's going to kind of crinkle it and give it almost a metallic sort of look. Then while that's down on that side, still wet and crinkling on it, I'm going to paint the other side, and then I'm going to flip it over, and there you can kind of see what that looks like. It kind of crinkled it up and made it look a little bit metallic. So it should still have a cool texture to it, but also pop out for me. Now I need some Cora board, and so I had to run to Home Depot and pick that up. All I could find was like a 4x8 sheet for 25 bucks, but that's okay because I'll save that and use it for other pieces. I didn't use cardboard because cardboard can get wet and it bends and it breaks apart really easy. This Cora board is like a plasticky material, and so you can stick stickers to it. It's really durable. When you shoot through it, it's not going to fall apart really easily on you. You got to cut out these little square holes for these zip ties to zip tie it to it, and it holds up really well to that. It doesn't rip out really easy. Things like cardboard and poster board and things like that, they'll flop around in the wind, they'll bend in the wind, but these are stickers here and they stick right to this plastic, no problem. When you carry it out, carry it legs up so your rebar doesn't fall out, the leg shoots out there, and we're going to find a spot about 100 yards up against this little hill here, and that'll give me an extra backstop when I'm shooting. Now today I'm going to just shoot for fun. I got 4 rifles that I kind of want to shoot at this, and maybe if I have some time I'll shoot some pistols, but daylight's running out. So I remove the 2 end caps, I pull out my pipe, and then I put the 2 end caps in the 2-inch PVC, and I go ahead and drop my rebar out, put the target down, and now I'm going to get one leg in using that pipe to pound the rebar in. I'm going to set the target on and kind of angle it where I need to be shooting from, so I'm pretty perpendicular to that. Now I have a spot for my second leg I can pound in, set the target on there. Now I need to put the pipe back in the 2-inch pipe so I don't lose it, right? Like that was the whole point of it. Got my end caps in there. So we're going to start off with an AR-10 and 308. It's got a 20-inch barrel. It's a side-charging Bear Creek Arsenal upper. We're shooting some Remington core-locked ammo. First shot is 2 inches high where I kind of wanted it. Second shot was me. Third and fourth shot. Third shot good, fourth shot not so good, fifth shot right on. And so I'm 2 inches high at 100, which is great for a 308. Next up is a 300 Blackout 16-inch barrel, Davidson Defense, Armscore 147 grain FMJ cheaper ammo. First shot is okay, but second shot is going to be low right just off the target. Third shot is high center. Fourth shot is high left, and then high right, and then right back to the right there. I got some work to do with that 300 Blackout. Really needs some work on that. Not the best ammo either. Next up is a 223 Wild 16-inch barrel from Bear Creek Arsenal side charging. I'm going to shoot 68 grain 223 match ammo from Hornady Frontier, and this stuff gave me pretty good grouping. I had a couple that were me pulling them off here. There's 2 almost in the same hole. Next up is an AR-15 and 9mm with a 16-inch barrel, shooting cheap Blazer 115 grain FMJ. First shot is just low. Next shot was way low and off the target, low left. Back almost to where the first one was. 2 in a row, good grouping there. Whoops, high left, yikes. So I'm going to cover up some of those with the stickers. Wasn't happy with the 300 Blackout or the 9mm. Unfortunately, my camera died, so I only get the 9mm reshoot here, and I don't get the 300 Blackout. There's a sailor right there. The next come in a little bit high and better from there. You know, 9mm is not meant to shoot 100 yards, and it's Blazer, cheap ammo. So not expecting the world's best grouping at 100 yards from a 9mm, but all the same, pretty cool stuff right there. Really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you find some use for a target like this, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, and we'll see you on the next episode.